Yes, greetings and the best of salutations. It would be prayer, power, peace, patience, and prosperity. I've come to believe in the power of positive thought. I was thinking, in doing so, I don't know how it is defined, but if that's necessary. But what I realize is that, as I stated before, that people are only responding due to the extent and the damage and the injury that has been done to his or her humanity. And we know that the prefix of the word positive is pos, which is to have accessibility, or access to, which is a constant flow. And I always say that we need to replenish the continuity of our confidence in cooperating with each other. Maybe we could say cooperating with positive thought as opposed to negative thinking. We know that the prefix of the word negative is to negate access to. Yes, but we know in this society, I mean, and if we deal with currency, you need positive and negative, which is a balance. But you think on that one. Just a shared experience. I went away from a particular environment in which, yes, a particular environment into a different environment. And the environment that I went into was a reflective and a positive one. I got a chance to do my best to reconcile any differences that I have with particular individuals. Um, One of the ways was to just go visit them. Um, I have written several books, and I gave one of my books to the particular individual, and he seemed to be pleased that I thought of, as seemingly from my outside, that I would think of him enough to give him a book. And the environment was so serene. And but I was pushed to go and visit this particular individual, um, consciously pushed to go visit this particular individual and individuals. I used this modern technology of reaching out to another individual, and then all three of us was on the phone talking about uh, birthdays, or some will call it Earth days, but of some things of the past and as associated with the present. And I was reflecting about how the area in which I reside, I mean, which I was living, and now I'm living in a different area. That when I visit the area which I did reside at one time, I was reflecting on some of the mistakes that I have made, because it really was a peaceful environment, and at a young age, I wasn't settled enough to take advantage of that particular living environment in the best of ways, as opposed to the correct ways rather than the incorrect way to do so. And but needless to say, before I got there, I came across a sister, and she was from another country, and I don't want to give a blanket statement of the hatred that people have been stenciled in lack of appreciation for one another in this country. Um, but needless to say, I'm not painting a broad brush. There are good, decent people everywhere, and so as I was asking the sister for some assistance, and she said, "Well, sit down. Sit down." She offered me a seat. You know what I'm saying? And just her humanity brought out the humanity that's in me. You know, and that's meaningful. there are people who connect with um, even animals, if I may use that language, and it brings out, their humanity, meaningful life, something that is meaningful. And I was um, I was talking to a gentleman who had interacted. Another story. I was talking with a gentleman who interacted with a sister who was of a different ethnic background, if I may use that language. And I asked him why did he marry her. He said, "I married her humanity. I married her humanity." Live a meaningful life, man. And that you be around people that brings out your humanity. But remember, people are only responding due to the extent and the damage and the injury that has been done to his or her humanity. And people will prey also on your humanity, on your sympathy, as some will call it as well. But then I left that serene environment and come back to a stressful environment. Um, and that's very challenging. That's very challenging. So if you can, do the best that you can to put yourself in the better position to exercise a positive belief in yourself and be around those who are able to bring out um, the best of your humanity, the best that's of your humanity that resides in you. And when you're around each other and they bring out the best of the humanity that's in each and every one of us rather than the worst, then you have really found that what you have in common, and that is your humanity. Positive thinking.